On the 7th of December this year, Armenia and the European Union opened negotiations for a framework of new agreement and for the deepening of bilateral relations. What are your expectations from these negotiations? Do you believe that the two sides can turn the page on the uncertainties created back in 2013?
Well, this is exactly what we want, of course, that we want now to have a formalized framework for our cooperation, and this is what I expect from these negotiations. Something where we have you can call it a legal framework, you can perhaps even call it a roadmap for our future cooperation. It's going to be very positive for both Armenia and for the European Union.
Okay. How rapidly will the new agreement be negotiated?
We don't know, of course, it's impossible to say, but since we have done most of the negotiations before, as you are aware, we did the negotiation of what was then called the association agreement, and those negotiations were completed. Our hope is that we can use most of the text that we have, but of course we have to change certain parts in accordance to Armenia's new international commitments.
From your point of view, why Armenia is still important and interesting for Europe?
Well, I think Armenia has a very particular geographic location, of course. It is between a lot of interesting countries that are of interest for Europe. But Armenia also has a lot of interesting things in itself. Armenia is definitely a European country, there's no doubt about that. Armenia has a lot of human capital, a lot of potential where we can work closely together with Europe and of course with Sweden as well. We have a lot of positive cooperation already with Armenia. For instance, we have approximately 12,000 people of Armenian descent living in Sweden, and they provide a very valuable input to Swedish society. We also have a very good political relation, Sweden and Armenia, a lot of visits on high level. So Armenia is important for many reasons, but it has a huge potential that we still haven't quite tapped into, and the framework agreement is going to help to do this.
Please tell a little bit about the Swedish traditions of celebrating New Year.
Well, for us, the main celebration is Christmas, and in Sweden we celebrate it on the 24th of December. And it's a very family-oriented holiday where we make the traditional Swedish Christmas lunch or Christmas dinner, the smörgåsbord as it's called, where we make our own marinated herring, where we have a special Christmas ham, where we have special fish dishes, cold meat dishes. Little meatballs are very traditional in Sweden, of course, and little sausages, and something called a dish called Jansson's Temptation, which is cut potatoes that you bake in oven with cream and anchovies. It's very also particular for Christmas. Then a very particular tradition, I suppose, is that, I don't know if it's particular, but for us it's important. We have a Christmas tree, of course, and we put all the presents under the tree, and then Santa Claus comes to give the presents to the children, of course. And then after that we dance around the tree to traditional Christmas carols.
What would you wish to the Armenian people?
Well, I would wish them all the very best in the world. I would wish them prosperity. I would wish them peace in their surroundings, in their neighborhood, and I would wish them that next year we'll see that we sign a new agreement with the European Union.